Talk all things Ripple, if we can, and the ripple effect. Ripple, the leading provider of digital asset infrastructure for financial services. No stranger to this part of the world. In fact, what was it, around about 6 months ago, the beginning of October last year, we got news coming through from the DFSA and the DIFC authorities as well that Ripple had secured in principle approval from the DFSA to expand its services from the Dubai International Financial Centre. Well, the good news is that in principle has now become principal. Blockchain power company has now been fully licensed by the DFSA. Good news, therefore, for the Managing Director of Middle East and Africa at Ripple. Reece Merrick has been kind enough to join us live in the studio. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Yeah, congratulations on ticking all the boxes required by the DFSA and the DIFC. What does this mean for you and the team at Ripple?
Look, essentially, this is the first, we're the first blockchain-powered cross-border payment solution that have full approval and regulation to operate in the region, which is, extremely exciting, and certainly evidences the forward steps that this region are taking to allow innovation to be able to flourish. So what does that mean? That means that we're able to service FIs, payment service providers, exchange houses and other corporates to be able to utilize blockchain and crypto with their cross-border settlement. And, being one of the largest hubs for cross-border settlement, we see a huge amount of interest there.
You said it, Reece. We are the hub word, that's
Absolutely.
for sure. How often do we use that at the moment? Look, Dubai long made plays of being a hub for aviation, a hub for tourism, a hub for this, a hub for financial services. A hub for blockchain at the moment, the UAE and Dubai, is that something we're seeing?
Absolutely. I think, we've seen so many advancements when it comes to regulation in this region, which first and foremost allows businesses, both international and kind of startups in the region, to operate and build products with clarity. And, that certainly lacks in other jurisdictions. So what does that mean? That means that, the UAE is attracting a lot of talent. It's attracting a lot of international businesses. Ripple are a global business, but we're really planting the flag in the UAE because we have that level of support from top down in the region.
Blockchain is not new. I don't need to tell you that. You've been very much invested in it for a long, long time. But it might be new to a number of listeners and viewers. It's becoming a lot more mainstream for us at the moment. How is it perceived in the financial sector at the moment? Is that evolution at the moment? And what is the UAE doing for its reputational play in the financial sector as a whole at the moment?
Look, I've been in the industry and working for Ripple for 7 years now. I can tell you, 7 years ago when I was in London meeting with large FIs, big multinational banks, that the topic of conversation is very different to what we see today.
Yeah.
Right? People are looking at ways to implement blockchain and crypto technology into their offerings. And really, I think that is an advancement in, the sector. That's a lot of institutional interest that's coming into the market. And there's a lot more confidence with regulation that allows them to operate in this space. So, the UAE has certainly played its part from a regulatory perspective to enable more interest. And I think we're going to see a flurry of, large institutions really kind of adopting this technology.
Yeah, it's so interesting you mentioned regulation there. No shortage of efforts being applied by the UAE and the Dubai authorities into regulation of the sector. In terms of practicalities, it's interesting that we're chatting to you on the same day. I was just talking to Kaspersky a few minutes ago about the rising problem of bank frauds, the rising problem of losing, of being affected by people stealing your details, etc., online. How is blockchain impacting global payments at the moment? How is it improving global payments?
Look, if you think of cross-border payments today, essentially they're built on technology which was from the 1970s. So in essence, if I want to move money if I'm a corporate and I want to send funds overseas, typically that payment could take, 1-2 days, may fail, will be extremely costly to do that. So the benefits of blockchain is you can move value in real time at a fraction of the cost. So really it adds that level of speed, efficiency and transparency whilst reducing the level of, failures along the way.
Blockchain, obviously here to stay. Crypto technology is obviously here to stay. Again, what do you say to the naysayers out there who might be listening in or otherwise going, oh yeah, this is just a little bit of a trend at the moment?
I think from a Ripple perspective, we're very focused on building utility around crypto, around blockchain. I think that from our perspective, it's about education. Recently we partnered with the NYU Abu Dhabi, where we basically have a blockchain for business strategies leadership course for financial leaders to really understand the benefits of the blockchain technology, how crypto and more broadly digital assets can really kind of aid their businesses. But it is a level of education, right, that is needed. And then there is certain areas where they can see the benefits and be able to implement them processes into their offering.
In terms of that education as well, I mean, I know that you and the team have worked closely with DIFC, the Innovation Hub, and moving things forward as well. Is that key to getting the message across, to educate from as early as possible?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think, there's a ton of interest, but often, where do people go to find out all this information? They can go online, but what we want to be able to do is nurture developers to be able to really kind of show them the benefits and what they're building. And our partnership with the DIFC Innovation Hub is part of an accelerator program, because you can have a great idea to build on a blockchain and the XRP ledger, but then how do you build that into a business? And really that's kind of what we believe is the missing step. So having that support, that mentorship, that, hey, if I need a regulation, where do I need to go and get that? We found that our partnership with the DIFC Innovation Hub has really kind of accelerated that level of interest and level of growth in the region.
Right, let's find out what's next if we can, because congratulations again, as you said, a first in this sphere to get fully licensed by the DFSA. You've talked to us about what this means to you, but what's it mean next for all the team at Ripple? What's this going to allow you to do, not just here in Dubai and the UAE, but further afield?
So Ripple, as you mentioned at the start, we're a digital asset blockchain infrastructure provider. So first and foremost, where we have licenses, and we've acquired 60 globally now, we're able to serve those markets to be able to benefit from our cross-border payment technology. We also acquired a company called MEXC, who are an enterprise bank-grade custody solution, whereby you mentioned earlier about fraud and safety. That is paramount for any institution to enter this space. And we have, the likes of HSBC, BBVA, DBS actually using our custody technology to ensure that safety when it comes to holding and dealing with digital assets. And then we launched a USD-backed stablecoin the back end of last year, which again we see as the next phase of, the way that is growing is considerable, and we see a huge amount of benefits as it overlaps with our payment offering there.
Busy times for Rhys Merritt, the Managing Director, Middle East and Africa, and the rest of the team at Ripple. Big thanks to you, Rhys, for joining us live here in studio, live on the Business Breakfast.